You heard me clear?
Yeah, I hear you clear. You live
Nice.
in full effect.
That's what's up,
Johnny
bro.
Johnny said 9 o'clock, and we
Not
talking about 8.
Yeah, I unfortunately I got a game at 9 o'clock, a basketball game. You know what's funny? We're in a couple of the chats. These guys, they want to talk about, they want to hoop. You know what I mean? They want to have like a game between all of us, but none of them
Yeah.
are hoopers. You know what I mean? Like most of them aren't even in shape. You know,
Wow.
so like I hoop. Like I'm in a league, a rec league. You know, so
So you actually got a game.
yeah, like I actually hoop. These guys just talk about it. So honestly, we need to do more of this because, like, remember, like the boxing guys, like you had all these guys and like the Facebook groups, the boxing guys, they
Yeah,
would beef
sure.
and then they would like threaten each other and like threaten to box, you know. But none of them ever boxed. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
You
always
always have
threatened
those type of
each
people that go
other.
on these Facebook groups and they go in there and they talk shit and they never box a day in their life.
Yeah. It's not
Never.
only that.
Never
Like,
stepped into a gym.
the problem. You know what gets me? It's in with boxing and MMA, like UFC, MMA media. The media is so toxic. How could like a group the softest this world? How could they cover such a like aggressive sport? You know what I mean? Where like guys put up their lives, and yet these guys in the media are the biggest, most emotional, like softest dudes ever. You know, but I feel like boxing in general, like a lot of the media guys and like people on Twitter, they're all like pedophiles, they're criminals, they're weirdos. Like like I'm not going to mention anyone particular, but it's this one dude who keeps going back and forth with Terrence Crawford. Why Terrence Crawford ever acknowledged him is just
Yeah,
goes to
we
show you
already
why I've always said for years Crawford has no fucking clue what he's doing. But like you look into
why
these
are you
guys'
giving
past,
credence to a guy like
you're
that?
you're talking like pedophiles. You're talking like people with like that's on Megan's Law. Like kid touchers. Like I don't understand it, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdos in the boxing community, I have to say. A lot of
I think
weirdos
the
out there.
yeah the fans bro, and I've said this for years. We should do like a voting system. Vote for your best. Like who do you think's the best guy in boxing media? I
Hmm.
hate to say it. I think it's Ellie Setback. I think it's Ellie.
Uh, can't stand Ellie Suckback
I think it's him. He's not the most subjective, but
at
he's
all. That's
he's
probably the reason why I'm not really a fan.
but there's every guy in boxing media is biased. They all are. I could you name them. I could pretty much expose how who they're biased towards.
Who would you
You
say is
know.
the most biased though?
Oh, I uh everything boxing guy. He's pretty biased.
Yeah.
Plus he's a clown, but whatever. Um, Ray Charles is pretty biased.
Hmm.
Johnny's Peoples, the 2-1-10 boxing,
Yes, I
like
know two
they
one
don't. I
ten.
don't even know why they bother. Like, listen, they do put out some good videos, but like it's crystal clear where their biases land. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, their viewership, speaks for itself. So I'm not, but they're great. They do good videos. Um, I think like the former boxers, Sean Porter. Um, I don't like any of them. What's the other guy that fought Pacquiao and beat him in lots?
Timothy,
Bradley. Yeah,
Timothy
Tim
Bradley.
Bradley. He's so biased.
Well, he's a
Oh my
top
God.
ranked guy, so you know.
Yeah, Bradley's biased. I'm trying to think like there's not many boxing podcasts. You know what's crazy? You got some MMA guys doing boxing podcasts now, like Morning Combat.
Yep.
They have no idea what they're talking about, but they're covering everything boxing now. It's crazy. Even
Yeah.
Ariel's got all these boxing people on because they've burned so many bridges with MMA fighters and like promoters that they can't even get a lot of guys. So now they're transitioning to boxing. Little do they know, boxing is 100 times more corrupt than fucking MMA. It's not even close. So, the fight news is really good, but they just put out the news, which is cool.
I like
I'm
fight
trying
news. I like fight
Yeah,
news.
fight news is
What about
good.
boxing scene?
They're okay. I wish they did more on social media as opposed to their
they're more
website and
informative.
forums.
Yeah.
Remember
Remember boxingtalk.com with Greg Leon back in the 2000s?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Boxing
used to do
Talk.
interviews. Man, I used to be on that heavy.
So the first Facebook group that was like big was Boxing Knowledge. And
I remember. Yep.
It blew up. And then what ended up happening was everyone started creating their own groups. And then at one point, Corey, Beetlejuice, he had the biggest group. He had the most popular group. And now almost every Facebook boxing group is full of spam, like that weird spam, the phishing porn, like the picture, like you see a picture of like a hot girl, and then you click on it and your whole shit gets fucking boxing doesn't have any credible media outlets.
Not anymore.
It's really sad.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Because what ends up happening, the second someone gets a little buzz, they take the check, they sell out.
Yep.
So
they do that all the time. So we know who for these junior welterweight champions, if there was a tournament, I probably know your answer already. Who would you think would win?
It depends on matchup. Depends on matchup. The problem that I have with the people in the picture right now is Haney's pretty much taking a layup. He's taking a pre-fight, like a warm-up with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, pretty much. Ryan is not that good.
I think it's a 50-50 with who's the worst. I think Rolly and Matias are the worst of the two. I think Tio just is I think Tio can beat Haney,
You think you can beat
Haney?
Haney?
If there were to fight, I would put. Yeah, the reason being is because, like, that style, like his style, I think matches well with Haney. It won't be a good fight to watch. I can tell you that, because
it'd be better than
once
the
Haney builds the power, he's going to run away.
It'd be better than Jermaine Ortiz fight, I'd say.
It would be, but I don't anticipate Haney. It'll be like a glorified sparring match. You know what I mean? Neither guy's gonna engage.
Right.
Whereas Matias and Rolly, those guys only know how to fight one way. But man, I would rather see them fight. I don't want to see them fight each other. I'd rather see them fight Teo and Haney. You know what I mean?
Well,
not for nothing. Rolly can knock out all three of these guys.
He could, conceivably.
Yeah, and
Matias, man, he has a lot of power, and he has a good motor.
But he got when we were watching when he fought his last fight, he was getting killed early on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only reason why he won is because his opponent just gassed. That's it. It wasn't anything with skill. It wasn't anything with like a technical advantage or anything like that.
No, it's more so his pace. His pace.
Yeah, the pressure and the pace just made the guy gas. And props to the guy's corner. They ended the fight because they're like, at this point, they knew he had no chance of winning, so they stopped it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Smart.
That's fucking genius. Like, why would you let your guy take a beating? Like, no, if your guy is gassed, stop the fight. There's no reason for it. Yeah, especially if he's not a world-class guy that could come back and get a second win. Like, not for nothing, I think Anthony, not to hijack the topic, but like Anthony Joshua and the last time he fought Usyk, he got his second win back and fucking,
that showed that he was an elite fighter.
Yeah, he came back, and he doesn't get enough credit for that. People just dismiss him. He fucking came back and almost
hurt Usyk to the body. He hurt Usyk to the body. If he just stayed on him just a little bit, He would have had. Hey, speaking of Joshua, did you like how he fought against Otto Wallin? I know we're getting off topic.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to hijack,
I
but
I really like the way he threw a lot of sink. He looked like a counter puncher in that fight. Like he was throwing
yeah.
straight right hands down the pipe, getting out of the way. You know, he didn't really overextend himself. He boxed pretty well. That's probably the best I've seen Anthony Joshua in years against Otto Wallin. Like in terms of his technical skills, like it looked like when he fought with Derek James that he was like more so just pressing more so. You know what I mean? Like trying to be a counter
Yeah.
between a counter puncher and a boxer. But in this particular instance, in that fight, he was actually sharp. So he looked good.
Because you got Haney versus Brian. You got Rolly versus Isaac Cruz. So, could we see Tio and Matias? Tio's team would definitely love that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Matias has been talking a lot of trash. I think
these three guys, out of everyone at 140, like the guys you see, Ryan, Mateus is the easiest guy for Teo. I think that's barbecue chicken. Like
even more so than Rolly. Even more so than Rolly. You think it's easier, Mateus?
Yes, because Rolly has something that no one at that weight class has. He has power to fucking stop you. Hey, you got to put Barry, that what's the old dude, the grandpa. You got to put him in the mix, bro.
Man, you know what's funny? He's the interim champion on the WBA, and he could conceivably have a rematch with Rolly, provided he beats Isaac Cruz. And there's no guarantee. See, I was going to say about two days ago, I did have a graphic about when we were talking. We got off topic a little bit. What do you think about Rolly versus Isaac Cruz?
I think it's going to be a super entertaining fight.
Very much so.
I think Rolly's size, he's going to have a significant size and weight difference in that fight. Isaac Cruz could fight at 135, 130. I think Isa's the more technical guy, which isn't saying much.
Right.
The only thing I don't like about Rolly is, didn't he change camps again?
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like when guys change camps, man. I don't like it. So
look at Johnny. He wants the link. I just gave. Here comes Johnny.
Yeah. Needless to say, I really do want Rolly to win that fight. I only for boxing, like for it to be more entertaining. You know what I mean? I don't need to see Isaac Cruz at 140, respectfully.
Right. See,
and
I was going to say that depends on the chin of Isaac Cruz.
Yeah. Did they release the weight for Tank and Conor Benn? I know the fight's pretty much done, but I just don't know what weight they're going to fight.
That's a good question. So the fight is pretty much done with Tank and Conor Benn. That's what they did. So it's pretty much.
I mean, based on setback, everyone, a lot of people. So it originally leaked. I think I told you in the last podcast. Someone leaked that they were 100% gonna fight, and he was fighting in England or someone from UK. So that's when all the rumors started, and then apparently they threw a fake. They threw out Hatton's name, which they only did it because they didn't want them to know it was Conor Benn. So.
So they just threw Hatton name in there as a.
Well, no. Hatton is so allegedly. Just real quick, they're offering a 3-fight deal for Tank. It's going to be Conor Benn, Haney, and then Hatton.
Conor Benn, Haney.
So
for Tank, is he really going to fight Devin Haney?
That's what they said.
That's the thing. Is Tank really going to fight him?
I don't know, but I'm sure what I feel they're doing in boxing now is what they did with Canelo. When they offer a 3-fight deal, they give you 4 or 5 guys you could fight. Charlo fight David Benavidez, or you could fight Charlo, or Andrade. They give them like a list of names, and then you roll the dice and see what happens.
Oh, I got the wrong link. My bad, Johnny. This is the link right here.
Oh.
Johnny's about to join. So yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to agree. It's between honestly, it's between Teofimo and Devin Haney. That's the fight that we've been wanting to see for years anyway. Even when they were at 35, they was popping off and talking a lot of trash and all that stuff. Here's Johnny.
I mean, all these guys know each other. So
yo, what's good, guys?
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, John?
What's up, man?
All right, what we on about today, fellas?
So we're talking about the state of the 140-pound division right now, and we're talking about out of these four guys, who wins a round robin tournament if there was a tournament.
Okay, so I want to say theoretically Devin Haney, right? Probably wins this more than likely. Based off of yesterday's performance, I think Devin Haney washes Teofimo Lopez. And it's not just last night's against who's that other southpaw that he fought? I don't know if he was a southpaw, but is it Martin? Oh my god,
Sandor Martin or southpaw?
Yep, Sandor Martin. He had a tough time with him. He had a tough time the second half against Lomachenko. The first half, he won it pretty convincingly. Second half had some trouble. Last night, probably his worst performance since George Kambosos. I've never seen a fighter have a horrible performance like that and still come out victorious. I've never seen it before. So, I think some funny stuff was going on. I mean, you could debate about who won. Doesn't really matter. Point is, he looked horrible. So, I think Devin Haney stylistically washes Teofimo Lopez. So, since he likes to bang. What up,
Johnny? Can I ask you a question? Was it Teo's fault that he looked like was it his fault that he fought a guy who didn't engage at all?
It's his fault that he didn't cut off the ring and made him fight. Yes, that is his fault.
Yeah, but he kept moving forward though.
He kept moving forward, but he didn't cut off the ring.
Well, he did, but just not as efficiently as not as efficiently as.
For example, when Manny Pacquiao fought Tim Bradley, he beat the stuffing out of Tim Bradley, and Tim Bradley can move. He was
well, the first fight was close. It wasn't like a wash. The second fight, he just
no, for sure. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say is, although Tim Bradley was very good at sticking and moving, Pacquiao was able to trap him and find him and things like that. It's we see fighters do it all the time.
But you guys Pacquiao is a come forward fighter. Teo's a counter puncher.
Who is Teo?
He's a counter puncher. This happens every time a counter puncher fights a guy that's on the bike. It happens every time.
So you think that it'll be a similar fight between, Devin Haney and Teo as it was with the Ortiz fight, but at a higher level?
It depends. It depends on how Haney fights him. If Haney plays counterpuncher,
hold on one second.
What happens every time? Go ahead. What happens every time two counterpunchers fight each other?
You have basically a glorified sparring match.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an amateur point system. It's gonna be an amateur point fighting where guys paw at each other like they're cats, and if someone lands one big shot, it's gonna be like, ooh, like the body language, like him laughing and trying to build up. It's gonna be a horrible fight. I don't.
It's gonna be a fight that every punch counts.
Yeah, every punch is there. There'll be 6 punches landed a round. Listen, okay, Haney beat Regis, which is fine. He fought a brawler. Teo is not a brawler,
No, he's a boxer puncher.
He's a counter puncher, and he has elite cardio, and he's got an elite pace.
Right.
He's even though he's mentally may not be there, he's always has the physical tools to be in any fight. So no one's washing Teo. It ain't happening. Definitely not Haney. Just because he, like I said, made Regis look bad, it's not a reflection of him doing that to anyone else. You know what I mean?
Styles make fights, so you can't really. It's hard to say that.
Yeah, it'll be a boring ass, ugly fight. That's what I'm thinking because Haney's not going to budge. You know what I mean? And Teal, as we know, as we witnessed last night, Teal will not change his game plan to be entertaining. He could care less. He's just going to
Absolutely
sit
not.
there and wait. He's just going to move forward and do that herky jerky, like that movement to try to get him to get you to make a mistake and counter. If you don't open up, he's not going to open up. But
That's right.
at the end of the day, he's moving forward. He's landing the power, wink, wink, power punches. You're
Right.
not doing shit. He's going to win the fight. Like, I don't,
That's
like,
the
it
thing.
takes two to tango.
Yeah, that's the
So-
thing with Teofimo Lopez. He has the ability to be more of a aggressive fighter, but he kind of chooses not to because he has punching power, but he also has skill. So the thing is,
Yeah,
it
but
kinda-
why? Why, if I'm him, why risk it? Why would you
Yeah.
let, like, let's say if he lunged in some shots, like a guy like Ortiz, like he'll do what he did to Loma and counter him, and
Right.
he fucking he lit Loma up.
He lit
So
him up. Yeah, he did lit them up. That was
like he lit him up. So if you're Teo, listen, he could fight tomorrow. You know, like realistically, Teo could fight tomorrow. He took 0 shots.
He didn't take any. He didn't take any damaging shots.
Yeah, I think
not any damaging.
I don't even, bro. I thought the post fight photos were like pre-fight because I'm like, this motherfucker didn't get hit.
Oh man! So you saying Ortiz? He doesn't have no. He shouldn't be on a big stage anymore.
I would not ever offer him. If I'm a promoter, he's not sniffing a main event. It ain't happening.
Wow. He is more like we talked about it. He is more like a gatekeeper, like we said, almost like to the elite. He's not elite, but he's a step below the elite.
I mean, at 140, listen, he showed the problem for him is with that skill set and that game plan, like you're never going to get the opportunity again. Like I said, unless he in his next fights gets a stoppage or like looks like aggressive and changes his style, he's never going to get an opportunity. It's not going to happen. He has no name.
Yeah,
like,
he's not a big
if you're
name
a promoter, why would you sign him for a fight? Like last night showed perfect. He didn't adjust his game plan. He didn't try to win the fight. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like respectfully, like I don't.
Right. And the only thing he's gonna do is make you look bad, basically. So where's the risk? It's more risk than it is a reward to fight a guy like Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah.
So what do you have?
Well, I mean, listen, Teo took the fight. Respect to him because this was a fight that not a lot of guys would take.
Very difficult.
Teo's always taken. He's never like Teo's always taken the best fight available. He has the best resume at 140. It's not even close. You know, no one's done what he's done as far as at his age in boxing. No one.
Yeah, he's what,
25
now?
At 25 years old, you look at his resume, you could say whatever you want. His resume is getting better with time. You know what I mean? So, you know,
he actually beat Vasyl Lomachenko. And whereas people said that Devin Haney lost to Vasyl Lomachenko, but they gave him the decision. So let's factor in that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying is like you have to understand like it's a business at the end of the day, but at the same time, like his resume speaks for itself. So
no doubt.
So all right, Danny, listen, I gotta walk into basketball.
Yeah, man. Good luck with your game, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, bro. Yeah, so the state of 140, still waiting on Johnny. So I'm gonna chop it up a little bit. The state of 140, to me, in my opinion, I want to give my opinion on this. Teofimo Lopez, do I think he's the best out of the 140 pounders? Slightly. Devin Haney just came into the division, so we have to give it to Teofimo by default. But I think Rolly versus Sabriel Matias is going to be, to me, would be a scintillating fight. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Broly beats Subriel Matias. I think we need to give Matias a lot of more credit than what we're giving him, because I think that a lot of people don't understand. Like, yes, we talk about Broly's power; he has one punch KO power, but Matias is 20-1 with 20 KOs, and one of those 20 KOs, like I keep saying, and I don't want to keep saying it. Rest in peace, Maxim Dadashev. This guy has a body on his name. He's a dangerous guy, Subriel Matias, in my opinion. Does he get hit too much? Yes, he gets hit too much. He gets hit way too much sometimes. But the thing about it is his pace. His pace is steady. And if he can take one of your best shots, he's going to make it tough for you. Subriel Matias is going to make it tough for you. So if he can take one of Rolly's shots, Rolly's going to be in big trouble. And he could take Rolly in deep waters and drown him. So, Rolly right now, like I said, he's going to be fighting Isaac Cruz first. Once he fights Isaac Cruz, we're going to see what happens when he fights someone like Matias or Haney or Lopez. I don't think he beats Haney or Lopez, in my opinion. I just don't think it's going to happen. As far as Subriel Matias, it all depends on if Matias can take his power. And Matias has power of his own, and he also has a great pace. So that's the determining factors in this matchup. I would love to see a round robin tournament, kind of like what they had in the 168 pound Super Series. I would like to see a Super Series. We got 4 champions, 4 world champions, and I would like to see just get rid of the unification. Get rid of the mandatories and all that stuff. Let's just have an actual, fight between these 4 guys to determine one champion, and do it like that. What's Johnny saying here? Oh man, yeah, I'm still on. I think Johnny is not on right now, or is he halfway on? Yeah, I'm still on. So, with that being said, these guys, we know that out of these guys, in my opinion, the cream of the crop would be considered Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. But there's been a lot of, trash talk, like I said, between Subriel Matias and Teofimo Lopez. So I really want to see Matias versus Lopez next for a unification match for the WBO and IBF titles. One thing about the IBF titles, though, one thing about the organization that is the IBF. The IBF is an organization that will strip you immediately if you don't take care of your mandatories. That's something about the IBF. They force you to take care of your mandatories. Look at what happened to Terrence Crawford. When he fought, after he beat Errol Spence, right? After he beat Errol Spence, what happened with Terrence Crawford? What happened? What happened was the IBF stripped him immediately because he didn't fulfill his obligation to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. That's why that happened, because he didn't fulfill his obligation to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Whatever the reason that you guys may have, it is what it is. I'm not concerned about that. If you think he ducked him, I don't think he ducked. But if you think he ducked him, I think at this point in Terrence Crawford's career that he wanted to fight, he wants the big fights. And he's 36 years old at this point in his career, and he doesn't want to fight. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not going to make the declaration that he doesn't want to fight Boots Ennis, but Boots Ennis got the belt by default, basically, because Terrence Crawford and basically there's nobody at the welterweight division at this point. So I think the junior welterweight division is a better and a more lucrative division than that of the 147-pound division. No more is the 147-pound division have a cream of the crop. We showed you a graphic. I showed you a graphic a couple of days ago when I was live talking about the 147-pound division and talking about, you know what I'm saying? See what Johnny's talking about. Talking about the 147-pound division and talk about how depleted it is. Errol Spence lost. Okay. So we're just going to remove Johnny. Johnny has some technical difficulties. Well, not technical difficulties. He has some things that he has to take care of. Hope that everything's well with him and his son. Appreciate you, Johnny, for coming on here. Appreciate you, Adrian, for coming on here. But as I was saying, with the 147-pound division, it is very depleted. It is not the same. And for that reason, you have what you have. So with that being said, to me, I think the cream of the crop out of these champions is Devin Haney. And I think that Lopez versus Haney is a fight that we all wanted to see. We've all wanted to see this since they fought at 35. That's the fight that we want to see. And like I would like to see, or I think Lopez versus Matias is a very, 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 very fun fight. Due to the trash talk and all that stuff and the hoopla going into that, be a good promotion. You know? So you guys let me know what you think. Who do you think is the cream of the crop? Who wins a tournament between these 140-pound champions? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is the best? Who comes out on top in a matchup between Rolly Romero, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Subriel Matias? Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Shout out to Johnny for coming on. Shout out for Adrian for coming on. And I'm out of here. Once again, this has been part 2 of Friday Boxing Talk. This is Danny's Dimensions. And I'm out of here. Peace.